Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection. I am going to be filling in for Katrina with
Adam Talley with Talley Insurance. Good to see you.
Yes. Katrina had to have something looked at this morning, so we are taking over the airwaves, and we also have Pat on the other line.
Yes, this is the Boys Club, and I really like this because now we are in control.
Yes, but we are going to stick to a format and a system because I am an engineer.
No. When the cat's away, the mice will play. Let's go completely out of control.
Out of control?
Let's talk about food today for the first hour. Let's just enjoy food, drink, and merriment. I'm still celebrating from St. Patty's Day.
Well, I'm still wearing green.
Did you go to Vallarta's for St. Patty's Day, Pat?
No, I really wanted to because I knew there were going to be too many people there, but Mama said I can only go once a week.
Ah, I see.
So he's going to be there tonight and tomorrow. So you're just not leaving? Is that what's happening?
Exactly. That's how I figured it out. You get there on Friday afternoon, you don't leave until Saturday evening.
Park the RV in the parking lot?
Yeah, that's exactly it.
So we should do the market recap. Our listeners are expecting it.
Absolutely.
Yes, but we got a special treat for the market recap because I occasionally like to talk about other markets.
Do you want to you want to read Tampa's and I'll read Orlando's?
I want to do Orlando. Why don't you do Tampa?
All right. So new listings in our area, we had 902 this past week.
So we're pretty consistent.
Yeah, I'd say. Looking, we've been in the 900s, I'd say, past 4 or 5 weeks at least.
Yeah, I mean, February is kind of the slow season for new listings.
Mm-hmm.
And we usually get a lot of listings in December. We get a lot of those closings in January. Kind of level off in February. I guess more people are playing in the stock market than they are in the real estate market.
Yeah. How about Orlando?
Well, Orlando's got a whopping 140 new listings.
Wow.
So basically we're still seeing the effects of COVID, if you think about it, because that tourism industry has been drastically slashed. And even with the state reopening, as much as it has, Orlando's market is still dismal compared to Tampa. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, how many people did Disney lay off?
We're in the thousands.
Yeah, so I don't know if they ever hired those people back,
I'm not sure. I mean, everything's at partial capacity, and it's not just Disney. You've got Universal, all those hotels. I mean, it is truly a hospitality industry. I mean, I recently was in Belize, and I saw similar signs of things just aren't recovered.
Yeah.
And they're going to take more time. So we're seeing the depressed market in Orlando, 140 new listings, 224 pending. What is nice to see is we still have the trend of more pending than listing.
Yeah, I guess that's good. I mean, our pending right now is 1,862.
Yeah, but if you look at it, it's about twice the new. And if you look at Orlando, it's a little less than twice the new. So we are still having more properties disappear than appear. Mm-hmm. So I would expect Orlando to start with more new listings coming on the market because we are starting to see that level of recovery. I mean, the number of listings aren't there, but the type of listing is getting more and more in line with Tampa.
Do you think
You know what I noticed?
What?
You know what I noticed? There's really nice cars driving through the neighborhood. Not that we don't have nice cars. The normal cars that drive through my neighborhood, are low riders and things like that. But the really nice cars that have been driving through, and they have a piece of paper in their hand or a tablet, and they're writing down addresses, and then a couple days later, the phone starts ringing. Or I get a text, would you like to sell your home? So, I mean, that's how bad it is out there that they are trying. People that aren't even listing are getting bombarded that people want to buy your home.
Yeah.
They want to buy Pat's sinkhole? That is impressive.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean,
think they'd even buy it with a sinkhole now.
Do you think with the market the way there is, do you think with the market the way it is that we're, because I don't think we've seen this foreclosure bubble that, is looming out there. Do you think that's still a possibility?
Oh, with pace?
Yeah.
I mean, Mike Fasano, Pasco County Public Property Appraiser, he talks a lot about that on pace where you get a larger than you should loan on your house, basically. It goes on your tax bill to do improvements. Not saying the program's bad. If it's done properly with proper contractors doing their proper pricing, then it's a fair deal. But too many contractors took advantage of it and have these extreme prices, and they're just on the tax bill, and you can not pay a contractor and you get a lien on your home. You not pay a contractor that's being paid through PACE, you get foreclosed on. I don't think we've seen those foreclosures yet.
Well, I wasn't even saying that. I mean, I was just thinking people that have been, off work, laid off, out of work, there was some forbearance, all that type of stuff with their mortgages. All that's going to have to come due soon,
Yeah, I haven't really heard about that. You still hear about the evictions and the stay on evictions, and then as soon as evictions go live, there's supposedly stacks of papers sitting in front of judges. I really haven't heard about the foreclosure side of things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if Orlando would see that before we would.
Probably.
Okay.
You think you've got whole apartment buildings that were filled with staffers at hotels and other hospitality places that just haven't opened. I know I was in Southwest Florida just yesterday, and there were several restaurants that still had the closed permanently signs in front of them.
Wow. Yeah. Guess we're lucky to live in Tampa.
Yeah, no, we're lucky, especially if we're landowners here in Tampa, because prices just keep going up. They said the average price was supposed to increase 6% nationwide, and we're still seeing double digits in the Bay Area.
Yeah. What was the article in Tampa Bay Business Journal? Was it the same time span, median sales price in Tampa Metro rose by 15.5%.
And that's well, if you think 6% was going to be the national average, we are bringing up the national average. So remove us from the equation, we're more than 2.5 times the national average.
Yeah.
Is it sustainable? Not sure. You look at the fact that as long as people can work from wherever,
right?
Why would you want to work in an ice storm?
I wouldn't.
But why would you want to work in the cool breeze of a hurricane?
Right.
One of the breaking news stories today was that there's a tiny home boom. So apparently those little homes that they're building are popping up everywhere.
That's old news.
I feel like those would tumble over quickly in a hurricane.
Well, actually, I like the tiny home. You get a steel frame home. You can build small. They're cheaper, so they're more affordable, basically. But how much of a home do you need? I know several people, like a couple, no children, and a dog, living in a 3,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
More house means more rooms to decorate, more problems. Maybe the solution
Bigger
isn't
AC bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the solution isn't taking your 400 square foot condo and turning it into a standalone home. There's got to be a happy median. Let's say 1,200 to 1,500 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. What we used to call the typical home.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't find them these days.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So I think we have a guest on the line. Do you want to get over to him, Leo?
We can.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we got Rick Beckett with Brilliant Nights Artistry and Outdoor Lighting. Welcome, Rick.
Thank you.
So what is Brilliant Nights Artistry? It sounds fun. That sounds like lights, maybe? I don't know. What is Brilliant Nights?
Brilliant Nights is outdoor lighting. So it's landscape and architectural lighting to highlight the features of a home and property or business.
That's awesome. So how long have you been in business?
This is my 17th year.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So you go out there and you're going to be doing lights on. So you put lights on the landscaping, or you install the landscaping that just is vibrant at night with bioluminescence, or what do you got going on there?
Well, my primary role is not so much to install the landscaping, but to put a lighting design together that will take advantage of the foliage, the trees, the architecture of the home and property, and to give you some down, maybe some down lighting or some, which was also functional, so so you can see to walk around. But my role primarily is the design and then the installation, and then we do maintenance and repair as well.
So when I hear about decorative night lighting, I immediately think Busch Gardens with the whole Christmas tree, and it's set to music, and it's just flashing at different times. Is that the level of lighting we're talking about, or just more ambient?
No, this is more ambient. It's more subtle, generally more subtle. Unless we're doing a business or something we're trying to call out, but generally it's subtle. It's not flashy. It's not strobing. It's not set to music. It's really it pops on at dusk, and it's really about ambiance and beautifying what you have there.
Hey, Rick, hold on for a second. We gotta run to a break, but we'll be right back with Tampa Home Talk. call or text 813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775.
Yeah, we'll be back very shortly. This is exciting times to be in. We'll learn more about Brilliant Nights artistry. We also have Ultimate Pavers in the house. We got a jam-packed hour. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
And welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. This is, welcome home. Excuse me.
Welcome home. We've been at this for a month now, trying to train ourselves.
We're going after like 2 years, 3 years of muscle memory. It's hard to override that. But
it's kind of funny. That reminds me back to my old DJ days where we used to change stations, or actually I would change companies, and we'd have to immediately start changing call signs.
Yeah,
it's really difficult to do. Wouldn't you say, Pat?
Oh, yeah, it's extremely. I was Dave Curtis in Lakeland for a long time. It was funny, though. I was 6 to midnight, Pat George in Tampa, and then in Lakeland I was Dave Curtis. So I had to write a name and a picture in front of me of somebody else completely, so I wouldn't look at myself and call myself Pat George. So it was very confusing. I know all about that name change.
Wow.
Call letters.
Why did you... No, I was talking about the radio station name change, not your own name change. Why did you go under a pseudonym?
Well, because I was still in the same listening audience on another radio station.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So.
Well, anyways,
learned something new.
Yeah. So we got Rick Beckett with Brilliant Nights Artistry in outdoor lighting, and we're talking all about outdoor lighting. And I think before we left, you were talking about possibly doing different colors of lighting too.
Oh yeah, color changing lighting is actually gaining in popularity. There are a number of brands out there that will give you the option to either choose a color, or you can have a permanent color. A lot of businesses might pick one color, but then residentially or even for businesses, there are color changing. You can set it to program and roll through different colors, or be a certain color, maybe if the lightning are playing, or that kind of thing. So. That's actually becoming a very popular form of outdoor lighting.
So, Rick, I got a question about wiring. I had lighting all over my house, and every time I turned around, the wires were either coming up out of the dirt, they were either being cut by the lawnmower. So is everything going to wireless now?
No, actually, no. It sounds like you had a bad installation. I should have gave us a call, but anyway. The wire, you still need wires. The only way to do that would be some kind of solar, and there's just nothing that exists at this point in time that's wireless. It still has to get power, so it just has to be buried properly and and put away so that doesn't happen.
Yeah, Pat, that might be your ground is collapsing. The wires were put in the proper level, but because your ground is collapsing, the wires are now at the top.
No, Rick had it right. Rick had it right about insulation because I did the wiring.
Oh, well, that
explains it. So, Rick, what areas do you service?
Really, the entire Tampa Bay area, from all the way down. I've done jobs all the way down to Boca Grande, all the way up to Hernando, and really over to the western part of Orlando. Really, just anything in between. We'll go wherever they pay us.
So this is an interesting question. You're basically installing lights, and you kind of, as a homeowner, I'd want to visualize the area at night to see what kind of potential lighting I would need based on shading and other patterns. So do you do your estimates in the day or in like the early evening?
That is a good question.
I generally do them during the day. There's only so many hours at night, and it's tough to. If you think about it, in the summertime, I have to start work at about 8:30 p.m. It's really hard to get a day's work in. So we just learn to do it during the day. Have done it long enough. I can visualize it. The trouble might be for the homeowner to be able to visualize what we're talking about. We can show them some pictures, things like that. And if it really comes down to it, if we're going to do some business together, we'll come out and set some lights up for them so they can see if we're trying to fine tune, what that system might look like, and then make sure they're comfortable with what they're buying. I don't set up a demo in every scenario, but it's something we can do on occasion when it's necessary.
So what's the coolest setup you've done so far? Like, does anything stick out?
Oh, it's pretty cool to do a resort. We did the Sheraton Sand Key Resort about 5 years ago, and it's a nice, it's a large project.
Oh, wow.
Sprawling. Like, you have the sea turtle. You have to, be compliant with with lighting that doesn't interfere with turtle nesting season. And so you've got to be creative, and you've got to, work within the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission guidelines for turtle-friendly lighting. And so there's, those are kind of fun when you have maybe some different aspects of nature that go with the design. And, when we do homes all the time, but it's kind of fun to do something like that every now and then.
Yeah. So what special things do you have to do for to be compliant for the turtle nesting?
Oh, I can answer all that.
So turtles are drawn to light by nature, so they're drawn to the moonlight, and they'll crawl towards it. So they'll mistake, lighting that's out of place, and instead of crawling to the water, they'll crawl away from the water, and then they wind up being, they wind up dying. So you have to use either an amber or a red, which is it's called a long wave light that turtles can't see, and everything has to be shrouded, so there's no direct light. So really, they basically just want the beaches to be dark, no light, no visible light. No light sources, no light shining on the beach. So it's actually it's pretty restrictive. You have to be creative in the way that you can try to meet the needs of a hotel who's trying to please their guests, but at the same time take care of the wildlife. So those are the kinds of things you have to kind of work within.
You've seen it before, Adam. You've been out at those boardwalks near the beach, and basically every light looks like it's wearing one of those samurai hats.
Yeah.
That the light is now only shining down, and like he was saying, it's going to be a warmer. It's going to be a cooler temperature bulbs. That's going to be on the yellow amber spectrum, rather than your bright whites or blues.
Yeah, I just don't think about it when you're walking down the beach, but I'm gonna have to look for it next time.
Yeah, I think about it constantly because I'm very active, as everyone here listens knows, very active with turtle conservationism. So I know all about the lightings, rigs, and different things you're allowed and not to have on the beach.
Yeah,
it's just dangerous because when they see the bright light, the turtles will, as Rick said, crawl towards it because they use the moon to crawl to the ocean. And if they're crawling in the wrong direction, they'll be eaten by fiddler crabs, dogs, raccoons, and other birds that use baby turtles as snacks.
Yeah. So, Rick, what can someone expect to spend on your lighting services?
Well, that varies pretty wildly. I think a typical lighting installation might be $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, but I just closed one yesterday that's $15,000, and we're finishing up one today that was just under $20,000. So it just depends on the size of your footprint and what you want to put into it. There's your typical neighborhood home, is probably just going to be a few $1,000s, where if you've got something on the water or a little bit more expansive property, there's more to light, it's going to cost a little more.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, well, what are some of the common places you're installing the lights? I mean, you've mentioned landscaping earlier, so I'm assuming you're wrapping some trees, but other than the Christmas setup, where else are you installing these lights?
Well, yeah, you got uplighting on trees, different kinds of trees. Depends on what you want to highlight. Maybe the oak trees, maybe the palm trees, kind of depends on what look you want to see. You can do downlighting, so we can light pathways. Sometimes those lights are on the ground. Sometimes we may light pathways and things from above. Maybe light them from the trees, so we may mount fixtures in the trees. We do a lot of core drilling where we can put lights in the pavers and things like that, so we can get them right where we want them. So if you got some hardscape, stacked stone, walls, things like that, we can really set that stuff off, especially that kind of that backyard stuff. Where maybe you got you've taken the time to put in some kind of a paver setup in the backyard with a pergola and all that. We can really bring that thing to light, literally after dark, and really it just makes that whole space more enjoyable, more usable, more beautiful after the sun goes down.
Yeah, and I don't want to call them string lights because they're not, but string lights is what comes to mind. I know some people, that's a fad right now, where they're taking these lights and just draping them from tree to house, and they're just forming a canopy of lights above. Is that something that you're seeing more of, and is something you would recommend? I don't recommend it because every time an oak limb falls, it takes out a whole section of lights.
Yeah.
Well, it depends what look you're after, and sometimes that's the right thing. We do string lights too, but we do them differently. When we are going to do our bistro lighting, whatever we want to call it, we buy it by the roll and we custom fit it. So we don't have extension cords laying around, and there's not an extra 3 feet hanging down that because it was too long for that stretch. So if we do it, it's custom fit and it looks really nice. We do them, it just depends. If sometimes you're looking for that's what you need, and really we just try to look at the situation at hand and see what's the best way for us to put some light there. And some people want that look. So if you want that look, then we do it better than yes, they're very popular. I mean, all the big box stores have a box of them for $50, and when I do it, it's a little more money than that because we do it a little differently. We do it low voltage, which makes it safer if it's over a pool or something like that. But it's definitely I don't know if it's a fad, but it's definitely popular. It's probably more of a do-it-yourself thing than something we're focused on, but we certainly offer it.
Okay. Well, if you want to get in touch with Rick, text lighting to 813-377-2775. That's lighting to 813-377-2775. And Leo, when we come back, we're talking to Ed Fernandez with Ultimate Pavers.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had him on the show, and looking forward to having him back on. It's going to be fun. This is like, if I were to surmise this 2-hour period, it's like what you can do with your outside. Basically, all of our guests during the 8 and 9 o'clock hour have to do with the outside, which is great because we're in the springtime of year. This is the time you leave your house and you start doing stuff outside.
That little storm that came through yesterday is going to give us gorgeous weather today. It's going to top out at 71, no clouds.
Loved that storm yesterday for several reasons. Not just talking about the wind. I'm talking about the fact that pollen is washed away and I can breathe for the first time in weeks.
Wow. Well,
Yes.
stay tuned. Text lighting 813-377-2775.
Welcome home.
Man.
Tampa Home Talk.
2 for 2 today.
2 for 2. Yeah, it's ingrained in me now.
a big day.
I'm just might as well just go under a pseudonym. I'm no longer Leo Kane from Beryl Engineering and Inspection. I don't have a name.
Yeah.
I thought I had. So I'll just be a Michael.
Thought you were quicker.
I'll be a Michael.
I thought.
Yeah. So this is Mike with Beryl Project Engineering.
Or Beryl Baby Proofing.
Beryl Baby Proofing. Yes.
.com.
I'll be Michael with Beryl Baby Proofing. I'm
you go.
joined with.
Adam Talley Insurance.
I thought you were
and
going to
then we got-
pseudonym yourself.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay. I like who I am.
It's hard
Then
to-
we got Ed Fernandez with Ultimate Pavers. So again, keeping that outdoor theme today.
Is that your real name?
Yes.
Okay, just verifying. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still in shock that Pat George went by a different name to do a second radio show.
Yeah, that is unique, I would say. But
What's funny about that is when I started at the radio station back in the day, back in the 70s.
This is when they didn't even have TV.
I started as a janitor. And the janitor before me, his name was Curtis. And the guy that trained me and told me what to do as far as how to push buttons in the radio station, his name was Dave. So I went on in Lakeland, I was Dave Curtis.
Oh,
That's
that's how. Oh, that's interesting. That's the origin of the pseudonym.
Yeah,
all
there
right,
you go.
I like that. I like that. Did they make you do that, or you did it on your own?
No, I decided to do it that way, and it was a fun ride. WONN. It was right by the Lakeland Civic Center.
But no one recognized your voice.
Well, I don't know. They probably did, but it was owned when I went there. My first day at work, it was owned by Joe Garagiola until my first day at work, and he sold it the day before because I was so proud I was going to work for Joe Garagiola. And I go, wow, I'm working. He goes, no, he sold this place yesterday.
Hey, who's Joe? Who's that Joe guy? Can't even say that last name.
Garagiola.
Yeah, who was that guy?
He was a big baseball player.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Even I knew that. I
All
don't
right,
know nothing
wow.
about sports.
There you go. Okay.
Absolutely nothing about sports.
Sorry, Pat. Didn't mean to offend you there.
Showing your age.
Yeah. Hey,
Okay, no, let's not only offend him now, it's shun him. Hi, Ed. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you guys?
Good.
Pretty good.
Good.
Ultimate Pavers, we've met before. You're big in South Tampa. What other areas do you to cover? Since I run into you all the time in South Tampa.
We cover Seminole Heights, Carrollwood, Hillsborough County, Southern Pasco County. So we stay pretty busy in that home base area.
Oh, awesome. So your name, Ultimate Pavers, means you're going to be outside doing pavers. So is there a little more to Ultimate Pavers than just what I would assume off the name pavers?
Yeah, we specialize in outdoor living. So anywhere we do anything from driveways, brick paver overlays on pool decks, patios, anything having to do with outdoor living.
So how about those? I don't know how to describe it, but okay. So where it's there's grass in between them, but there's like stones almost embed in the ground.
Yes.
Do you do that kind of stuff then around with like a fire pit type things?
We do those on occasion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are
I love those.
You were talking about the stones they put sometimes for driving to meet standards of permeability.
No, it's more like a footpath type thing instead of like pavers going across.
Oh, like every other step, there's a stone to step on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. I gotcha.
It's kind of like offset, so there'd be grass in between it.
Okay, you're talking about the new contemporary
Yeah.
pavers. They put artificial turf in between them, and
Oh no, I'll try to find a picture.
Oh, that's the secret. The
I'll try
artificial
to-
turf. I don't do the artificial turf, and I just get weeds.
yeah.
I'll try to
And
find
then,
a picture.
and then my
of
lawn
what
guy
I'm
doesn't
looking
like it because he's like, I can't get to these weeds with these pavers here. He's got a different accent. I can't. Do his
Yeah, I
accent.
don't know what that was. I don't know where that person would be
I
from.
was trying to cross an accent between someone from Savannah with someone from Alabama.
Yeah, that's maybe that's Michael's voice from Baby Proofing.
Barrel baby proofing. So, how long has Ultimate Pavers been in business?
We've been in business almost 20 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you must have some pretty prestigious clients over the years,
Yeah, quite a few.
like a Tom Brady in there.
No Tom Brady.
Not that prestigious.
No.
So you say you do driveways. Are they good as a driveway?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Brick pavers are your best option for driveways.
Really, they're durable.
The reason being is, especially in these new communities, people have trees planted close to their driveways. Brick pavers allow flexibility and movement. So on a standard concrete driveway, 8 or 9 years into it, you're going to get cracks and settling in a concrete driveway. We do a lot of driveway removals, install our proper crushed concrete base, and do pavers typically after the home's been built.
So can you do? So I have a friend that has a back patio, and it's just concrete on the bottom. Can
Okay.
you guys come back
boring.
and go over that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, brick paver overlays. You could use brick pavers, decorative pavers, travertine stone, which is a cool option.
Okay.
So possibilities are endless
Now-
as far as colors, shape, and
So
style.
I'm still a little hung up on this, and I think we need to talk about it again for the listeners. So the brick pavers for a driveway are actually better than concrete.
Absolutely.
That's just kind of blows my mind to a certain extent. I would
That's
think
good.
the opposite.
No. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everybody's. You live here. I'm sure you have a crack going through your driveway with an oak tree or something.
No, actually, I don't. I have a water pipe going through my driveway.
Oh, well, hey, there
not
you
just
go.
a water pipe; it's a water main. So I have a hump.
Oh, okay.
So if
yeah,
you don't
and
have
you
an-
can't do anything about that.
If you don't have an SUV, you're not getting into my driveway.
Oh, there you go. Attaboy.
Some cars try to do it. I feel sorry for them.
Ooh, there you go.
So so the pavers would be better than concrete, easier to maintain, I guess, when you have the tree root heaving, as we
Yes.
call it on the structural side of things. What about other types of driveways, other than if I didn't want to do brick, maybe it's some kind of stone, or is there other materials I could use?
You could use a clay paver, concrete paver. You can use other products. I wouldn't recommend them due to the aspect ratio. Basically, the wider the product is, the more brittle it's going to be. It's not going to hold up. It's not going to be as durable. So you'll want to go with a smaller brick. That way it is more solid per se.
Yeah.
And typically
dense, right?
Yeah, dense. Brick pavers on the average are anywhere between 7,500 and 9,000 psi, where regular poured concrete is on the average between 3,000 and 4,000 psi.
Okay.
So the brick paver is going to be significantly stronger.
Wow. And they're still like, I don't know, probably like 3-4 inches thick, right? Or do you
Depends
get
on the
them thin
application.
now?
The thinnest you want to go on a vehicular application is 60 millimeters, which is about 2.5 inches.
What about on like a patio?
Patio, it all depends if it's an overlay. On an overlay, you could go a 30 millimeter, which is about 1.5 inches.
Okay. So that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All this metrics and standard stuff being intermixed, it's kind of hard to get a visual on the size of things.
Yeah. You've seen a brick paver before.
I have, but we got to describe it for the 35,000 listeners out there.
Have they not seen a brick paver before?
I don't know. I can't assume what they haven't seen. I mean, this is just
Fair enough.
These are upgrades. So you move into a subdivision, you move into your cookie cutter home that looks just like all your neighbors. Something like
It's a way to
this
stand out.
can stand out in a positive way, and it's good for good for appraisal value,
Curb appeal.
curb appeal.
Good for makes the
Hey,
pool
I've got a
area look
question.
nice.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Leo. As far as a home inspector, could you reject a home, buy or purchase because of a brick paving driveway?
Why would we reject? We don't pass or fail homes, but I mean, if we saw a brick paver driveway, I mean, we're going to be looking for standard defects with them. If there's excessive weeds growing between the joints, but as Rick said earlier, I mean, as Ed said earlier, when it comes to maintenance for tree root heaving and for other settlement issues, the brick paver system is the overlay system is the way to go, because it's going to be easier to maintain. It's going to be cheaper to maintain in the long run.
Yeah.
And also what he was talking about with the durability and the strength. I mean, the difference between concrete at 3,000 psi and these bricks that's 8,000 psi, you think that's like a 2 times difference, but it's like a 3 to 4 times difference because of just how it works. It gets stronger per square inch, and it's that much stronger in these areas. So I've seen situations before where you're getting your roof redone, the truck shows up, and now you have a big hole in the ground, basically, because that's where they parked the truck, and the tires, weight of the tires just dig into the concrete. I don't see that as often with the brick paver system.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's impressive.
Yeah.
And best part about it, you can get different colors too, right? So what kind of
Absolutely.
colors are you seeing these days?
Very common color nowadays is it's very trendy. People are gravitating toward the grays.
Okay.
So you go to the home centers. It's just the latest trend. Grays.
Kind of boring. I mean, if I'm going to go through the trouble of
Like
removing
the
concrete,
reddish color.
yeah,
you
I'd
know?
want something not gray.
Yeah. Reds were big a couple years ago, but you know, people go through decorating trends. You know, they're watching HGTV, doing what their neighbors are doing, and
Well, is there a good what's a good for people listening out there? What would be a good like neutral color that you kind of timeless almost?
Gray.
Gray, yeah, right? No.
timeless colors. I'd say a harvest blend.
Okay. And that
Napoli.
what would a harvest blend like?
Basically, if
standard
you
colors?
think of Thanksgiving, cornucopia of colors, you know,
Okay.
orange, red, little yellow, goldy hues. Napoli is a very popular color nowadays. It's a gray with a little bit of tan, a cream in there. So, you know, those are very neutral. Another popular neutral color is amaretto, which
Okay.
is like a tan coffee color with a cream. So those are, you know,
And that's-
basic decorator colors that
And that's for driveways and pools, or
absolutely,
driveways?
yeah.
Okay.
most of the time for pools, people tend to gravitate toward the lighter shades. They're a little cooler on your feet.
Want
and
it to look like sand a little bit too, right?
Yeah,
if you can
yeah.
get that light,
Especially
light
needs to be
tan.
cooler on the feet. I've done
Yeah.
so many times of just like I want to run as fast as possible from the house into my friend's pool, because standing on the pavers is it's like,
They do retain some heat.
yeah, there's a reason why they're used in barbecue grills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 1,000-degree ovens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the lighter shades in the Florida sun are going to be, you know, a little significantly cooler, probably 10 to 15 degrees, opposed to a darker red shade.
Yeah.
They absorb the heat and, you know, make it uncomfortable for you and your kids.
Yeah. So do you find yourself doing more patios or more driveways these
I
days?
do quite a bit of a mix of both.
Okay.
So both pavers on driveways and patio applications.
So if somebody like Leo said wanted to stand out in their neighborhood and add this to their driveway, what kind of pricing would they be looking at?
The average driveway is anywhere between $7 to $10 a square foot.
Okay. So what's an average driveway in square footage?
It'd be like 200 to 300 square feet for a typical cookie cutter subdivision.
No, average driveway is about 800 square feet.
Okay.
Zero lot line
Yeah.
subdivision is what I was talking
That's
about.
true. That's true. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have to continue talking to Ed when we come back from the break. If you're interested in getting some pavers to make your outsides pop, make sure you text the word paver to 813-377-2775. That's text the word paver to pop, 813-377-2775. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Tampa Home Talk. Welcome home.
Sorry, Adam.
0 for 2. 0 for 2
You're
today.
usually the one that's dead on with it.
I know. It's not my morning. I've got the coffee
No,
going.
but this is our morning. Katrina's gone.
I know. I didn't have my coffee. I had my coffee before
And she's
I come. Usually.
not even
I gotta-
gone in the way she's typically gone, where she calls in for half the show.
I know. I don't know. I think
This
it's
is
with all
our
the pollen and everything.
show. Pollen's all
I haven't been
washed
sleeping
away.
well. I can't tell you, man. So
Can't blame the hour change.
I know. I need the coffee.
Can't blame the stress of whether or not we're going to win a sports title.
They should have these in IVs and it'd be much quicker.
They do.
Oh, well, I got to look into that. It'd be a good investment for me.
You can also take a suppository.
Ooh, I don't know about that. That's a little too much.
Well, if you want to just pick me up.
Yeah. Anyways, talking all about pavers. Yeah.
So, if I'm going to decide if I want to do my pool or my driveway because I can't afford both, where should I start?
It all depends, what your priority is. I mean, if your driveway's falling apart, I'd say do your driveway.
Yeah.
Your pool deck, you're definitely going to enjoy it. It's living space. So, we have financing options for our customers where they could do no interest, no payment, same as cash for, up to a year. So,
Wow.
Oh, that's neat.
Pretty good deal.
That's because you've been in business for 20 years and you formed relationships with banks that can offer that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Nice. That
I
is
got a
awesome.
question. What's the value a paver, a driveway, or a patio adds to a home? How much value?
Typically, people get back, from what I hear, in the industry from realtors, somewhere about 125% return on an investment. So let's say you spend $10,000 on your outdoor living space, you're looking, 12.5 you're
Yeah.
getting back. So it's a good way to, both enjoy your space and, increase your home's value.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, curb appeal is important. I mean, maybe not so much in this market in Tampa where it's exploding.
Yeah.
But when the market starts to cool off a little bit, that curb appeal, the landscaping out front, the lighting out front for the landscaping if they're driving by the house at night, the pavers for the driveway, that's all going to make the house stand out and make it more desirable.
Well, yeah, and you're gonna like it more. Like that's the point, right? You get to enjoy your house a little bit, other than just like the place where you come after you get home from work. Like a little bit more exciting, especially. God, that's why we live in Florida, right?
Yeah,
To
and anything
be outside.
Anything you can do to make your outside more enjoyable and spend less time in the house and more time outside. I can't believe a video gamer like myself is saying that, but anything you can do to make that happen, though, is a benefit. I mean, breathing the fresh, open outside air when it's not drenched in pollen is actually very healthy for us.
So, what's the most? Sorry, Pat. What were you gonna say?
The belief that I've had ever since I was young, I have always put all my money on the side of my home, in the back of my home, and the front of my home looks like it's falling apart because it deters burglars. I'm telling you, I used to have a beautiful 2-story home, and I was almost broken in twice, but because that curb appeal was a big thing to me. But now, if you were to drive by my home, you would think there was nobody living there.
And that's why you got a notice from code enforcement about your RV, though.
Yes, exactly.
That's why you
have a Shangri-La in my backyard.
That's funny.
I've actually heard both. I've heard that, and I've heard the opposite. I've heard that if it looks like a well-upkept home, you've got a security system sign out front, burglars don't want to mess with it because these people take care of their property and they're keeping an eye on it. So
yeah.
I've actually heard both standpoints on that. So I think it still comes down to luck at some point.
I'd love to know the statistics on that. But anyway, so I was going to ask you, so what's the most kind of like unique outdoor, patio type thing that you've done?
Well, just recently we did a patio project over in Tampa Heights, off of Florida Avenue. Basically, it's a cigar bar, and we built them a 5,000 square foot outdoor space.
Oh, you did Grand Central?
Yeah, Grand.
Yeah,
that place is awesome.
Man,
That is an awesome place. Yeah,
that is a really.
So I
cool
had no
place.
idea you did that place. That was like, love what
really
they did with that.
That's really impressive. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So describe where the place is, Adam.
I think you did a good job. It's on Florida. It's in this 115-year-old building.
Yeah.
It was a former church, and they made this it's a beautiful cigar bar. Very Tampa. I mean, I don't know how else to describe it. They did a fantastic job on
Yeah, I
it.
love driving by and looking at the outside. It's great. Your handiwork is just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah. I think they have their they've been open a little soft opening, but I think their official
Grand opening is coming
is
up.
like tomorrow.
No,
I
it's
think
a
was it
couple
tonight
weeks.
or tomorrow?
Couple weeks.
Are you sure?
Couple
Yeah.
of weeks.
Yeah, I thought I saw it. I'll check. when we're off air.
Because we're local to it, there's lots of soft openings, but I think their official opening.
Okay, I
opening
thought I
is
saw
April.
something on Instagram, but I'll double check.
Yeah,
on
their
that.
address is 2201 North Florida Avenue. If you want to go out there, check it out.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's a
if you're
great
looking-
place to hang out,
Yeah.
have a cigar.
Check out Ed's handiwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And that building has some cool architectural lighting, so if you want to see what both a hardscape and outdoor lighting combination looks like, it's a great canvas.
And I think it's a good spot even if you're not a
cigar smoker?
cigar person. You can,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can get a drink and sit around outside, and it's just
Yeah, drink, food,
Yeah,
just
so
listen to music. And
we should get
hang
them
out.
on. I could probably get them on.
Yeah, we should get them. I'd love to talk cigars for an hour.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, especially Katrina with seeing her speech therapist about her throat and voice.
Yeah.
We got to get her involved in
I
this.
feel like Katrina's had a cigar or two in her life, though.
Yeah,
She looks like a celebratory cigar person.
got to celebrate the birth of a baby, the hiring of an employee, what else do you smoke? Oh, the celebration of a good cognac.
Buck Super Bowl.
Buck Super Bowl win. Yeah, lots of cigars. That's actually where I got my cigar. I smoked
Nice.
when the Bucks won.
So I have a question for you. I know it looks better when the pavers go in diagonally, but how much more difficult is it to install that cross?
Like that chevron
Yeah,
pattern
that
almost?
chevron cross diagonal design.
It goes down the same way. The only difference is it's going to be an increase in cost for the homeowner or the customer. Basically, you have a little more waste when you do a chevron pattern as far as, cuts go. So, you're looking at a couple $100 price difference. But as
That's not too
far
bad,
as
right?
putting it down, it goes down the same way, and,
Do you see a lot more of that chevron pattern these days, or is it still? kinda
yeah,
split up?
occasionally
Okay.
we'll do a 45-degree herringbone chevron pattern.
They look
I don't know.
nice.
They do look good. I like that. No.
Yeah, if I'm going to do pavers, I want something that's going to look a little bit more impressive than just like a brick road.
If our listeners are going to do pavers, they should text pavers to
Yeah,
813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775. Text pavers. We'll hook you up with Ed.
Text lighting, we'll hook you up with Rick.
Yeah.
Text insurance, we'll hook you up with Adam.
Yeah, absolutely.
Text inspection or engineering or baby proofing, we'll hook you up with
Baby-proofing.
We'll hook you up with Leo or Michael.
Or Michael.
Because now I've got to confuse our listeners on the same show. And then at 9 o'clock hour, we've got some other exciting guests. We're going to continue the outdoor. We're going to continue the outdoors. We got outdoor living centers and pools coming up.
Pools. I know pools is hot right now.
But I think it's a swimming pool mechanic.
Oh, well, it's still important.
Let's see you next hour. This is
Yeah.
going to be great. Don't go anywhere.
The preceding program was